Om Sri Sai Ram, Om Sri Sai Nadhaya Namaha, Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Today we are going to talk about Sri Saisatcharita, chapter 27. In this chapter, Hemad Pant talks about how Baba blessed his devotees by giving them the sacred books and how he taught them the value of those books and the significance of those books. And in this process, Baba teaches Syama about Vishnu Sahasra and some other stories we'll look at in this chapter. Baba gave some of the books to Syama to save them for the future. Usually, these books are brought by some of the devotees and they wanted to bless those books and give it back to them. But some of the books, Baba gave it to Syama and asked him to preserve those. So like that, but some of the books were given back to the devotees also. This way, he collected so many books there, and Baba predicted that lots of people will come to Shirdi and they will do Gnana Yagna. So that's why he wanted to preserve those books. If we study these scriptures with devotion, our minds will automatically think about Baba. So we'll go into the story of Vishnu Sahasranama and Ramadasi Sadhu story. Syama, we all know that he's a very staunch devotee of Baba. He had utmost love for him. A desire therefore arose in Baba to put him to some regular practice for his spiritual progress. One day, they were sitting in the Dwarka Mai. One of the Ramadasi Buvas came. It was his regular practice to read the Ramayana early morning after doing his puja and other rituals, and usually he takes bath and doing the sandhya after applying the sacred ashes and wearing the orange colored robes, and he sat at a fixed place to read every day. And he used to read the Vishnu Sahasranama and Adhyatma Ramayana. He read these books often. Madhav Rao, that is our Syama, one day he was sitting there and Baba wanted to play his Leela there. And Baba suddenly tells Ramadasi that I have a shooting pain in my stomach. It is as if the intestines are tearing apart. Go, this pain in the stomach is not abating. Quickly bring some senna pods. Unless I take some small quantity, this ache will not stop. And then he leaves, this Ramadasi leaves. Baba takes the Vishnu Sahasranama book and gives it to Syama. Then immediately Syama says, Baba asked him to read this book, and he told him it's going to be very beneficial. He also tells him that once I suffered intensely, my heart began to palpitate. I was restless and I had no hope for myself. Syama, what can I tell you of that experience? How that book proved useful. This life was saved by it. I hugged it to my heart for a while and immediately felt relief. It seemed as if Allah Himself had come down and this life was saved by it. Therefore, Shama, take it with you. Read it gradually. Every day take 1 or 2 words. It will give you great joy. That's what Baba said. And then Shama says, I do not want this, Baba. Well, Deva, the Ramadasi will be furious with me, and he will say that I have behind his back done this wrong. As it is, he is half crazy, ill-tempered, and he always complains. Why unnecessarily pick up this quarrel with him? I do not want this annoyance. Besides, this poti is in Sanskrit. I cannot understand this, and I cannot even pronounce them clearly. So Syama thought Baba wanted to set him up against the Ramadasi, but he had no idea of Baba's heartfelt concern for him. Then the Ramadasi returned soon, bringing the Senapart's medicine, and found out what happened. He's already ill-tempered. Moreover, he had suspicions about Syama. He said, he made Baba the intermediary to snatch away my book. He launched a vicious verbal attack on Syama. And he was uncontrollable. He couldn't control his emotions. If you do not return this book without creating any problems, I will dash my head in front of you and scatter my blood profusely. Like this, he was threatening Syama. Then Madhavrao says, do not falsely accuse me of being deceitful. Why are you fussing so much about the book of yours? It's not a rarity. Is your book decorated with gold and studded with gems? If you don't have faith in Baba, despicable is your existence. Seeing the Ramadasi's insistence, Baba very sweetly said to him, O Ramadasi, what is the problem? Why are you unnecessarily distressed? Is not Syama our lad? Why do you quarrel loudly and vehemently for no reason, creating a scene? Why are you always ready to fight? Can you not speak soft and sweet words? Though you read these books regularly, your mind is still impure. And still Baba says this, every day you read Adhyatma Ramayana and recite the Sahasranama, yet you have not discarded your passions which are uncontrolled, and you call yourself a Ramadasi. What kind of Ramadasi are you? You should be absolutely detached, but you are not able to overcome your intense desire to possess the book. What name can be given for this behavior? A true Ramadasi should have no attachment, but look at the young and old with equality. You are harboring enmity for this boy and coming to blows for this book. Go and sit in your place. Books can be had in plenty for money, but not men, till the end of the time. Remember this well. Syama has no knowledge about the worth of your book. I picked it up on my own and gave it to him myself. You know the book by heart. I thought of giving it to Shama, who will read it, repeatedly recite it, and obtain the utmost benefit. Then Ramadasi realizes the situation. Still with anger, he talks to Syama and says, instead of this book, I will take Pancharatna Gita from you. I'm telling you clearly now. Then Syama was pleased that Ramadasi was pacified. So he said, why not just one copy, but I'll give you 10 copies of the Gita. So like that, that argument was settled. Later on, Syama's faith was developed. Dikshit and Narke taught him to pronounce the words correctly by repeating and conning them over and over again and to know their meanings. He learnt the book later on by heart. Here, Baba gave us the important lesson and told us about the greatness of Vishnu Sahasranama also. Baba said that he will tie the necklace of the Vishnu Sahasranama around Syama's neck to free him from the miseries of the worldly existence by giving him a fondness for reciting it. God's name can break down mountains of sin. This is what Baba was telling. The Lord's name breaks the shackles of the body, and God's name pulls out millions of ill desires from our roots. And it will humble the pride of death and ends the cycle of birth and death. The Lord's name chanted with full intent is very effective, but even an unintentional pronouncement can be beneficial. Its power is manifested even when it is uttered unawareness. For the purification of the inner self, there is not another simpler means than chanting the Lord's name. The Lord's name is the adornment of the tongue. The Lord's name sustains spirituality. It is not necessary to have a bath to say the Lord's name. Taking the Lord's name is not regulated by the rules of the Shastras. The Lord's names destroy all sins. The Lord's name is always pure. The continuous chanting of my name itself will ferry you across the ocean of existence. No other means are necessary to achieve salvation. Whoever frequently repeats my name, his sins will be burnt. I consider him more virtuous than the virtuous, whoever constantly hums my name. Like that, Baba told everybody about the significance of the repeating the God's name. Next, Hemad Pant talks about Vittal Darshan. Once Dikshit was taking a shower, and then after taking the shower, he sat for meditation. And then in the meditation, he sees the vision of Lord Vittal. And then he goes to Baba. Baba tells him, Vittal Patil came to you. Did you meet him? But be careful, don't let him go. He is very fluid and slips away easily. That's what Baba tells Dikshit. And when Dikshit goes to Vada, one of the people came to sell Vittal's photo frames. And then this resembled exactly what Dikshit saw in his vision. So then he immediately takes that and then keeps it in his puja mandir. The next thing Hemad Pant talks about is Gita Rahasya. Once Bapu Sahib Jog gets a book written by Bala Gangadhar Tilak in mail, he takes this book with him and goes to Dwarka Mai. And then while he was prostrating, the book falls down. Then Sai turns some of the pages and handed the book back to Jog by putting a rupee coin on the book. He tells him to read this book completely so that he can benefit from this book. So this was a great book by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He wrote this while he was in the jail during the British time. Mr. and Mrs. Kapardhe's story. Mr. Dada Saheb Kapardhe's full name is Sri Ganesh Sri Krishna Kapardhe. He was a famous lawyer in Amravati. He was very rich and he used to earn so much money at that time. He was very rich. And not only that, he was a good speaker also, and he used to be very quiet when he is with Baba. Dada Saheb stayed in Shirdi for 4 months and his wife stayed there for 7 months. We only know her details as wife of Kapardhe. She was highly cultured. She had read and also heard from Kirtankars the stories of the Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Pandav Pratap, Shivalila Amrit, etc. She had a special relationship with Sai. Sai himself told people about her greatness also. So like we talked about, she stayed in Shirdi for 7 months and served Sai personally. And she worshipped Sai's feet. Sai used to eat only after she gave some food to Baba. Once he felt so pleased with her service, he blessed her with some great words. So she brings a platter filled with sanza, shira puri, bhat, varan, kheers, sandwich, papad, and other things. Baba most eagerly got up from his seat, rolling up his sleeves of his kafni, and he immediately eats all that. And also many other naivedyas came far superior to this, but somehow he liked this prasad. Then Madhura Syama asks Sai, why should there be such a distinction? You keep aside all the other platters and you picked hers. Then Baba says that, what can I say? The surpassing quality of this food. In her earlier birth, this lady was very fat cow belonging to a merchant, yielding much milk. Then she disappeared and took birth in a gardener's family. Later she was reborn in a Kshatriya family and got married to a merchant. Then she was born in a Brahmin family. I saw her after a very long time. Let me take a few morsels of food. She has offered with love and with contentment. And after saying this, he did full justice to this meal, washed his hands and mouth, belched to show his satisfaction, and sat in his gadi. The lady did an obeisance and started gently pressing Sai's feet. Baba took the opportunity to give her some beneficial advice. While she was pressing Baba's feet, he in turn pressed those hands which served him. Seeing this reciprocity of service between Deva and devotee, Shama joked about it. It is going on well, Deva. It is a pleasurable sight to see this reciprocal devotion. It is marvelous to behold. Considering her service, Baba was very pleased, and he asked her to keep on repeating Raja Ram, Raja Ram. So he told her, keep chanting this always, O mother, your life's objective will be achieved. Your mind will be at peace and you will be immensely benefited. So like that, Baba gave her his blessings to her. He was so compassionate about it. While he was doing Raja Ram to her, it was a kind of Shaktipata, transfer of yogic energy to her, and her life changed afterwards. The Guru and the devotee are not separate, though they appear different or distinct. He who attempts to separate them forcefully is bound to be humiliated. Both are one, and one cannot live without the other. When Guru blesses the disciple, then there is no duality. There is only one thing. The Guru lives in one place and his disciple at another. He who likes it thus, then their relationship is only for appearance sake. If essentially they are not two, how can they be separate? One cannot exist without the other. Both are so inseparable. There is no difference between Guru and the devotee. Thus, they are continuously together. So the devotee placing his head on the Guru's feet is a gesture of worship or outward vision. So these are the beautiful words that were portrayed in this chapter. And Baba always blessed his devotees with their wishes and what they need in their life as they can proceed towards their destiny, that is moksha. So with this we will conclude this Saisatcharita chapter, and we will continue with other chapters in the next satsangs. Om Sri Sai Nadharpanamastu. Om Sri Sai Ram. Om Sri Sai Nadhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai.